Welcome back, YouTube. Brother Kimo here from Reload Hawaii. Check it out. We're talking about wheel guns. Wee. Revolvers, man. And I hope if you don't have one, by the ending of this video, I sincerely hope you at least consider picking one up. Here's a quick story. As I started shooting many years ago, like 1 year ago, I thought they were dumb. I thought revolvers were the dumbest looking things. They were heavy, didn't have enough firepower, 6, 7, 8 rounds if you're lucky, and they take too long to reload. Meh, wrong, all wrong. Are they ugly? No, they're sexy as hell. Are they heavy? Yes. Do they take long to load? But so what? That's the appeal to it. Here's what happened, guys. So I was at the range one day, and like most of us go to the range, we shoot next to somebody nice enough to let us shoot what they got. And I hate that, man. Every time I do something happens and I end up liking whatever the guy has. Gentleman let me shoot a Smith & Wesson model 686, and I was just stunned at how fun it was to shoot, and it probably had to do with how accurate it was. And I can tell you right now, it probably had a lot to do with this. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. One more time for the kids in the front row. Yep, that's the stuff right there. Or maybe just the fact that you can actually load these chambers one at a time makes that experience that much better. You close up that cylinder, you crack back the hammer, and you're ready to rock and roll, man. I had it. I still do. Revolver fever, man. Oh, I hate it. My issue was I didn't have enough money for a model 686 Smith & Wesson, and that's what led me to this Taurus. This is a model 669, chambered in 357 Magnum, 4-inch barrel, stainless steel finish. Serial number indicates that it was made somewhere in the 1990s. I paid $325 used. So here's a dilemma, guys, and that's what I'm going to focus this video on is how much more gun are you getting for the extra $400 to $500 for a Smith & Wesson, a Colt, or a Ruger? And just to be clear, guys, I love all of those brands. I think they're fantastic. They're well made. That's precision at its best. I love them. And here's a Colt Python. Awesome. Ridiculously iconic. Same thing with the Smith 686. Crazy. Ruger GP100. Stoked. All of those fantastic. But for the people that can't afford it, or maybe you're just a casual shooter that can't justify in your brain, like myself, spending that extra $400 to $500 for 4 or 5 times a month, 4, 5 for me, 3 if I'm lucky, this video is for you. You don't have to hang your head low because Taurus makes an excellent product. And here's some points to consider, guys. 3 points to be exact. Number 1, revolver technology really hasn't changed all that much in the past 180 years since Sam Colt had invented it. Really hasn't. I mean, have some of the internals changed, like the firing pin now is frame mounted. The springs and triggers are a lot better. But as a whole, in the past 180 years, there hasn't been a lot of difference in them. And that's one of the main draws to them, is that you can give somebody with very little training a revolver, and they will successfully be able to defend themselves. And they're reliable and accurate. Beautiful, very simplistic, inherently reliable and accurate firearms. And that's what's great about them. So consider this as point number 2 as well. We have a technology that hasn't changed much, and when you blend into today's technology that has moved so quickly, I mean, we're far away from the good old days where the bigger companies could afford the best technologies and they would put it into their product, and that's what pump out a great quality product. Now we've got really great technology for very low cost that smaller companies and foreign companies can utilize, and they can charge less while producing a same type of quality. Really levels out the playing field. If you look at it, Smith & Wesson, Taurus, lifetime warranty, both sides. They're both going to be, you can find a stainless model, 4-inch. You can get them with the rubber grips or the wood grips, chambered in 357, identical. So where is that $400 to $500 difference? And I got to be honest with you guys right now. I don't know if there is one outside of the prestige of owning one of those American-made revolvers. And that's fine. I dig it. And like I said, I love those 3 brands. But for guys like me, I just couldn't financially in my brain right now make it make sense. I couldn't do it. And that's what led me to this Taurus. The last point that I want to make is specifically for Taurus. Smith & Wesson and Taurus were owned by the same company in the 1970s, Bangor Punta, and they shared this exact same technologies and methodologies on their revolvers. You know, so those two have a really good relationship in the past, and they learned a lot from them. Now, am I saying that a Taurus is a 100% copy of a Smith & Wesson? No, but it's damn close. How close? Close enough for me to justify not spending an extra $400 to $500 price difference. You know, as I shot this next to some people that had a Smith & Wesson, I didn't notice a difference in accuracy. I turned it around to look at the finish. The finish was pretty much the same. So, you know, you have to be the judge and to see how much you can see a difference, you know, between the $400 to $500 differences. So if you consider those 3 points, one, revolvers haven't changed, but number two, the technology that's made them has helped level the playing field for smaller and foreign companies who will always charge cheaper because they know that they're not the real deal, right? So they're going to charge less. And three, when you have a company like Taurus that has had the past experience of sharing technology and methodologies with an American company like Smith, hey man, I think if you're thinking about getting a Taurus, there's nothing to hang your head about. Go ahead and get it and get in the game, man. Get in the revolver game. All right, let's get into the review real quick here. So 357 Magnum, guys. For those of you who are online shopping and who don't know a lot about revolvers, you're going to notice that you may see one that's 38 special. It could be about $100 to $150 cheaper, and the reason being is it can only shoot 38 special, which is this guy right here. Now, if you want a little bit more flexibility, you get the 357 Magnum because it can shoot both 357 and 38 special. And if that's all you can afford, no problem, because the 38 special round is a lot more economical to shoot than 357. And it's basically the same thing. You get the same experience. You just can't shoot one of the greatest cartridges ever, 357 Magnum, and that's why I opted to get the 357. And that's one of the other things you could afford. Maybe you couldn't afford it before, but now with a Taurus, you can afford a 357. So that's another thing you might want to think about. Let's get into the review real quick. Okay, so this is a, again, model Taurus model 669, bladed front post, orange polymer insert, so that really helps it stand out against the black rear sight. You can see how the U outline makes that sight stand out really, really, really good. These are windage and elevation adjustable. Thank God they put the arrows to which way to move them. Thank you very much, Taurus, just like Smith & Wesson. This is ribbed. The 668 was ribbed and vented. This makes it look like a Colt Python. I absolutely love it. It looks sick. And you can see the finish on it. I'm going to try to spin this around so you guys can kind of see what's going on with that. Turn it over. You can see here, I'm going to flip it over so you can see the face of the trigger here. You can see grooves in it. That's what metal injection molding can do. It's a technology that really has helped level the playing field. And all around, you can see how even the engraving, the Taurus bull, very nice. They got it in the grip. You can see Taurus International, located in Miami, Florida, and made in Brazil. This is Brazilian rosewood, I think is what they're calling it. But man, really nice job. Here's the hammer. Really nice stippling here. You can feel that through a glove. Same thing here on the cylinder release. And just really quickly, guys, I know this is going to sound stupid, but I wasn't familiar with revolvers. And for those of you who aren't, that guy right there is on all revolvers, and that's how they release this. You just push it forward like that, and you push it from the other side. I thought it was just magic. This is a 6-shot revolver. You're going to find that some of them are 7, and some of them go up to 8, but you're going to notice the girth of the cylinder is going to get a little bit bigger. So I think probably you want to look for something with a 4-inch barrel for accuracy and 6 shot to keep the weight down. The longer barrel you get, the heavier it's going to get. Here's a trigger. Here's a double action trigger. Here's what it looks like. Not bad at all. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on that. I don't have a poundage meter, so you can just gotta eyeball it. Here's a single action. Woo! That's where it's at, guys. Any revolver, single action, bang. Man, I love it. Okay, here's some really quick stuff that you should know about before buying a revolver, whether it's new or used. You want to check out a couple things. You just want to make sure that the bore crown is good here, right? It's not dented in, and that the inside is nice and shiny. It's not all blown out and dark. And then revolver timing, which is this. You just want to make sure that when you pull the hammer back, when the cylinder timing, when the cylinder moves, you want to make sure that the chamber lines up with the barrel, and you want to do that for all 6, because one of them could be off. And all you really need is one of them to be off to create just a horrible experience. So do that for all 6 or 7 or 8 chambers, whatever you got. And cylinder lockup. which is tested by pulling the hammer back, holding the hammer down, pulling the trigger, and simply moving it back and forth. You see no movement there, and also up and down. Now you're going to notice a little bit of wiggle here, and companies like Smith are going to have less movement, and that's going to equate to more accuracy. Is it a $400 to $500 accuracy? Not for me. Not for 3 to 4 times a month. Nope. Sorry, not for me. And then of course you want to check that you know, this isn't sticky when you release it, that it's really good, and that it spins freely, and that there's no wobble. Yeah. So keep an eye for those things. Well, guys, that's all I got to say about my revolver experience. I hope to own a Smith & Wesson or a Colt Python in the near future. But I hope it's persuaded you, if you don't have one, to kind of give them a look, because they're so much fun to shoot. Alright guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please feel free to, and if you really like the video, give me the thumbs up. And as always guys, I will catch you later.